Hello, everyone. Welcome to Global Football View, the channel that keeps you up to date with all things football. And welcome to the weekend roundup show, where I'm going to take a look at the weekend football, what happened in the FA Cup, the Italian City High, and other things around the world of football. First and first, you know what to do. Like this video and let me know in the comment section how impressed were you with the Milanderby. And I have a serious question to ask each and every one of us today. When are we going to start seeing nations boycott the World Cup in the United States of America? Because in 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine, we had a lot to say about Russia and the aggression to the Ukrainian people. So, when are people going to start to talk about the aggression of the United States and Israel to Iran? And where is FIFA going to be held accountable for the peace award it gave out to whoever it gave it out to? That started another war in Ukraine. I know a lot of us are hypocrites, and sometimes we go for the lazy narrative. And for me, it doesn't sit well in a world where we want peace, a world where we want everybody inclusion. I think we should be calling out these things. And I know a lot of people are scared to say it, but I just want to put my thought out there. And when are we going to start seeing bigger YouTube channel? When are we going to start media? When are we going to start seeing nations boycott the World Cup or even say something about what's going on? I really want to know. But like we do on this channel, it's not a political channel, but this is affecting lives, affecting people, affecting nations. Kuwait is being bombed, Iraq, Lebanese, United Arab Emirates. A lot of these countries, bombs are going down every day in these countries, and people are dying. 163 young girls were killed in Iran by United States bomb. So when are we going to start seeing people talk about this? And I know it's not it's not football related, but it's football related because when it was Russia against Ukraine, we saw how the media, we saw how everybody was condemning Russia, and rightly so. So when are we going to start seeing people condemn United States in what they're doing? I just want to know. I'm putting out a question there, so each and everyone out there with good conscience for them to make what they make of it. I'm looking at other things from England. The English FA Cup, the oldest tournament in the world, kicked off. The round of 16 kicked off the weekend, and we saw some, not just one upset. We thought Sunderland was Port Vale was an upset, but we saw another upset where Southampton defeated Fulham. And I'm going to take you through the result and the games. We saw Liverpool on Friday taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Remember, Wolverhampton Wanderers defeated Liverpool in the last game in the Premier League by 2-1. But this time, Liverpool ran out with a 3-1 victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers in that game, and qualified for the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. While Arsenal traveled to Mansfield and making the quarterfinal stage for the first time since 2020, where Mikel Arteta won his first Arsenal trophy, and they defeated Mansfield by 2-1. The game wasn't easy. Mansfield put up a good fight, and kudos to the players, kudos to the captain Reed, and kudos to the guy who scored the goal, Adams, and kudos to the young man Max Dowman, who was the star of the show as Arsenal, with 2 goals from Noni Madrid, a goal for Noni Madrid and a goal for Berishi AC. So Arsenal taking the step to qualifying for the round of 8, where they'll be taking who? We don't know the draws today, so let's see. Finger crossed, we're going to see how other draws are going to pan at. Chelsea, on the other hand, defeated Wrexham by 4-2. The game ended in a 2-2 draw in 90 minutes, but extra time. Chelsea ran out with 2 more extra goals as they defeated Wrexham. That game was clouded with some calls. For me, the calls were right, the offside was right, the red card was right, but because of human people like fairy tale stories, so a lot of people were not happy seeing that Wrexham were red card in that game. But if you look at the tackle, VAR was actually right to call on the Peter Banks to the monitor to give out the red card in that game. So Chelsea make the quarterfinals, and Manchester City, on the other hand, I know Newcastle will be tired of saying Manchester City right now, because at the moment, every time they see these people, they keep trashing Newcastle, and they run out with a 3-1 win over Newcastle. Although Newcastle scored the first goal in that game, but wasn't enough as Manchester City won that game by 3-1. Omar Mamouche was on the score sheet twice in that game as they won that game by 3-1. The upset of the FA Cup. So Port Vale defeating Sunderland. Port Vale, I think, are the lowest ranked team currently in the FA Cup. They defeated Sunderland, the Premier League team, in this week FA Cup, as they ran away with a 1-0 win. The Newcastle boyhood fan scoring the goal and was giving it to the Sunderland fans, and the back-to-back banter. They won that game by 1-0. The other upset saw Fulham defeated at home by Southampton 1-0. Fulham are that team, you do not know what to expect from them. For me, I just feel like Fulham, if you see them win, thank God. If you see them lose, thank God. If you see them draw, thank God. Do not expect anything meaningful for them. Do not put your hopes on Fulham, because they will disappoint you. And this is what they did as Southampton ran away with a 1-0 win over Fulham. Leeds United take on Norwich as they defeated Norwich by 3-0. Norwich put out a good fight in that game, but their fight wasn't good enough as Leeds United ran away with the qualification ticket to the quarterfinal stage. Today we'll be seeing West Ham take on Brentford 7:30. That's just an hour before the FA Cup draw. So we're going to see which teams are going to be paired together. Remember, Wolverhampton Wanderers have been knocked out. Liverpool are in the quarterfinals. Arsenal in the quarterfinals. Chelsea in the quarterfinals. Manchester City in the quarterfinals. Southampton in the quarterfinals. Port Vale in the quarterfinals. And Leeds United in the quarterfinals. Who is going to make the last slot? Brentford or West Ham? We're yet to find out. And keep up on the channel as we're gonna give you the result, the draw when it eventually comes out. And the Italian Serie A for me is really getting out this season, and the Milanderby was a star of the weekend as Inter Milan lost again to AC Milan. They are city rivals, stadium rivals, everything rivals. For me, when I was growing up, this one of the derby I always look up to, apart from the North London derby, and seeing what AC Milan are doing to Inter Milan, defeated them home and away this season. I know Inter Milan are running away with the league, but the point now has been cut to 7 points between them and AC Milan. So let's see how the league is going to go. And this is the seventh time. For the past 7 games, AC Milan have refused to lose against Inter Milan. And I can tell you for free, it seems like AC Milan have the numbers of Inter Milan at the moment, just the way Arsenal have the numbers of Chelsea at the moment. So that aside, AC Milan are doing everything possible to see if they can win this year's Scudetto. Genoa defeated Roma. It shocked a lot of people. Shocked for a lot of people as they defeated Roma by 2-1. Fiorentina and Parma played at a goalless draw. Bologna and Alex Verona played at a 1-2 win for Bologna. Bologna scoring first in that game, but they lost to Verona. Bologna was doing everything possible to qualify for Europe this season. We defeated at home by Alex Verona. Lecce defeated the Cremonese by 2-1, and on Saturday we saw Cagliari lost at home to Como. Como, I've been really impressed with Como this season. Not just this season, from how they picked up from relegation to qualify for the Serie A, getting promotion through 6 Fabregas. I've been really impressed with how Como play football, and their result is really good. And at the moment, they're currently in the top 4 in this Serie A this season. So fingers crossed. Let's see if they're going to qualify for the Champions League. Juventus, on the other hand, defeated Paisa by 4-0. Atlanta and Udinese ended in a 2-2 draw. That game was really entertaining. Udinese taking a 2-0 lead in that game, but Atlanta coming from behind to draw that game by 2 with 2 goals apiece. Napoli, on the other hand, defeated Torino on Friday as they are chasing for the Scudetto. Currently, right now, AC Milan are second behind Inter Milan, who are first with 67 and 60 points respectively, and Napoli on the third slot with 56 points, just 5 points above Como with 51 points. Juventus have a outside chance of making Europe as they're currently sitting in 6th position. AS Roma, who have been on a poor run of form with just 2 wins from the last 5 games, and they lost their last game, but like I say, 2-1. So the AS Roma are 5th in the table with 51 points, and Juventus are 6th with 50 points. Paisa, I think for me, relegated in my opinion, because I don't see how they're going to escape this relegation. Verona are trying their best to see how they can escape this relegation, while Cremonese, Fiorentina and Lecce and Torino, these are the remaining club in that relegation spot, and battling it hard to see how they can escape from the relegation. And talking about relegation and talking about champion, and we move on to the UEFA Champions League, which will be taking place tomorrow. The round of 16 in the Champions League will be taking place tomorrow and Wednesday, respectively. And a lot of English clubs are currently there, are currently doing what they can do to see if they can make it to the final and lift the Champions League. And so many big games, so many games where we do not know how the results is going to pan out, and just the games are tight. All the games are really tight in the Champions League. Liverpool are taking on Galatasaray, and they've both met this season in the Champions League during the league phase, and Galatasaray winning that game. Looking at that game, I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel Galatasaray might just edge it with the home crowd, and let's see how it's going to be. Newcastle, on the other hand, will be taking on Barcelona. Woo. I wanted to go for Newcastle to win this game, but looking at the way they played against Manchester City, I don't think I can back them. Excuse me, I don't think I can back them. Newcastle taking on Barcelona, Atletico Madrid taking on Tottenham. For me, this is the only straightforward win at the moment in the Champions League. Atlanta, another one against Bayern Munich. Manuel will not be playing in this game, and I don't know if that's going to really affect Bayern Munich. And Leverkusen on Wednesday taking on Arsenal. Arsenal, on the other hand, are flying. Yeah, the pace setter in the Champions League this season, 8 wins from 8 games. But this is where things get tough. This is the Champions League knockout stage. If you fumble here, you're going to find hard, because a lot of quality teams are remaining. That game is not a straightforward game, so we're yet to see what's going to happen. PSG taking on Chelsea. PSG, on the other hand, who had their game postponed because of this match against Chelsea. And let's see, I had a game with Chelsea. PSG, remember, they were losers to Chelsea in the Club World Cup final, where Chelsea won that game by 3-0. So let's see how this game is going to pan out. Real Madrid taking on Manchester City. Real Madrid with a lot of players missing, the likes of Kylian Mbappe, I don't think he's going to make it. Jude Bellingham, I don't think he's going to make it. Alaba, I don't think he's going to make it. I think Rodrigo, who has an ACL, is not going to make it. A lot of players missing for Real Madrid. And I just see Manchester City, we have too much for them in this round. And probably they may not finish the tie in the first leg, but I think Manchester City are going to qualify, are going to skate through. They're going to skate through this one. And the fairy tale Bodo Glimt and Sporting Lisbon is the last Champions League game. And we do not know what to call from that game, but I think the first leg is going to end in a Bodo Glimt win. The Arctic Circle. Let's see how this is going to go in that game. I think that's all from the Champions League this week. I think the second leg is going to take place on the 17th and 18th of March. After that's probably next week. And let's see how the first leg is going to go in my prediction. If I have to give my prediction, I think Galatasaray is going to win that game by 2-1. Newcastle United will play that a 2-2 draw with Barcelona. Atletico Madrid will play a 3-0 win for them as they will defeat Tottenham. Atlanta and Bayern Munich will play that a narrow 3-2 win for Bayern Munich. Leverkusen and Arsenal might end in a 1-1 draw. PSG and Chelsea will end in a 2-1 win for PSG. Bodo Glimt and the Sporting Lisbon is going to end a 2-0 win for Bodo Glimt. And Real Madrid versus Man City is going to end in a 2-2 draw. That is my prediction for the Champions League. And we'll be here to talk all things when the games kicked off. And also don't forget the FA Cup quarterfinal draw is going to be taking place today. And let me know which team if your team is still in the FA Cup, let me know the team you want to meet in this year's FA Cup. Till I see you again, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed, and click on the notification bell to keep you up to date with all things from this channel. Till I see you again, stay safe. Peace out.